Hey, how you doing there again, folks? Me again, of course, Brandon Wenzel. Come back at you, another offering off my sampler platter. Yes, indeed, folks, sampler review series videos I've been doing for a little while now. I go over there, try out food and drink items. I eat stuff, I drink stuff, then, folks, I'm going to talk about stuff. I'm going to let you know all that you need to know about hopefully delicious stuff that time I'm doing this, folks, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know this existed until I checked randomly today. So neat. But we'll get to that. Folks, it's super simple format. I'm going to go over there and try out food and or drink items for you. Whilst I'm doing so, I'm yammering around about it for a bit. Whilst I'm doing all that, I'm inside my truck. And whilst I'm doing all that, folks, I'm wearing a super cool shirt. Folks, when I wear super cool shirts, I always like to highlight the super cool shirt. What super cool shirt am I wearing for today, folks? What happens to be my Don the Dragon Wilson tradition shirt. Yay, that's Don the Dragon Wilson. But who's Don the Dragon Wilson, if you don't know? You should. I'm gonna learn you good. Don the Dragon Wilson, incredible martial artist, and pretty much inarguably one of the greatest kickboxers of all time. He made his career sort of throughout the late 80s, into the 90s, and then I think even a little into the 2000s. To this day, he holds the record for the most kickboxing championships with 11. The guy was just freaking ridiculous, man. He had a very cool defensive fighting style that allowed him to go over there and take a lot of abuse, but not really receive, the worst end of it. And then he'd kind of lie in wait, and he'd take those opportunities, and boom, right with a fucking sidekick. And a lot of times that was it, man. I knew him mostly, originally, from his film work, because he, like a lot of those, karate kickboxer guys during that time, did a whole bunch of movies, and was actually very successful, and still does some films today. So, if you happen to be interested, by the way, talking a little shop about, Don Dragon Wilson, his kickboxing movies and stuff, I'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction, because I love his work. But anyway, what am I trying for you today, folks? What are we doing here? Like I said, I didn't know this existed until today. I was thinking about places I could go for lunch, and I was like, I haven't been to Jersey Mike's in a while. What do they got going on now? Boom! Here's what they got going on. Turns out they have a couple of new sandwiches. Sandwiches. And folks, I like some Jersey Mike's. I like some sandwiches. What sandwich is this, though? This is their brand new, wrong thing, classic pastrami sandwich, which consists of pastrami, grilled onions, pickles, spicy brown mustard, and I got it on their rosemary parms bread. And folks, what with this being a sub sandwich review, I do have to preface it with three things real quick. Number one, for over 3 years now, I've been trying out sub sandwiches, pretty much any place I can get my hands on them, be they chain locations, delis, Walmart, what have you. I've been trying out the subs, I've been reviewing them, I've been posting them to my YouTube channel. That's where number 2 comes into play, because I'm such a nice guy. I don't just post them to my YouTube channel. I also have a specific playlist called Subs for Subs. That is where my sub sandwich reviews go. Time I'm doing this, folks, I have over 100 sub sandwich reviews. But maybe that's not enough for you. Maybe you're greedy. That's where number 3 comes into play. Because, folks, all I need you to do, if that's the case, is just wait until Sunday. Why? Because Sunday is SUBday. That is the day when I go over there and I upload my sub sandwich reviews. Every Sunday for over 3 years now, I'm going to get you at least one sub sandwich review. And at least one of these is going to be this pastrami sub. So let's open it up, take a look at it. I love some pastrami, so sub sandwich. Oh, it's a good looking sub. Alright, and it kind of looks like this. Ha ha ha! Let's get a thing for the thing. I don't know. Best way to make this work, kind of something like that. Ha 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 ha! Let's eat a pastrami sub. Pickles, though, right? Oh. Ooh. Brown mustard's really nice. Really nice flavor to that. Because I bit right into a pickle and that brown mustard. And brown mustard held its own. I would say it was actually even a little bit more flavorful than the pickle. I'm not a big pickle guy, you guys know that. But, if you use it in the right circumstances, I'm good with it. Nice thing with Jersey Mike's is that their stuff is always really flavorful. So, something like a pickle isn't going to ruin the whole experience, you know. Might not be my favorite part, but... It's a well-filled sub. Lots of flavor going on. You've got the strength of that brown mustard. I will say, it's got a little kick to it. I don't know if I'd say spicy, though. I feel like that's being a tad bit generous. Although, maybe just by itself. But with everything else, you're not getting, like, much of a strong kick to it. But there's kind of, like, almost like a little bit of a horseradishy kind of deal to it. So I guess that's kind of what they're going for with it. That mustard is fantastic. The pickles, not my favorite part of things, but like they kind of tie in, give it a little, you know, they give it that little extra tang, and with so many strong flavors going on, they don't feel intrusive, you know, like they're obstructing any other flavors. The pastrami, which obviously is the mainstay here, it's some decent tasting pastrami. I'll kind of go a little bit more into that, but I like the rosemary parm bread. That's like definitely my favorite bread from Jersey Mike's. And then, you know, you got like the grilled onions, which they're kind of adding a little bit of savoriness, a little bit of, you know, kind of caramelized sweetness to it. So like they're kind of the lesser of all the ingredients going on, but I do think that they help keep it a little grounded. So here's the thing. If I'm looking at these ingredients and I'm kind of like going along the lines of like, okay, what does this do? What does this do? You know, what does everything bring to it? The pickles and the mustard, I feel, are both adding like a nice tang, you know, definitely giving it like a strong kind of, you know, striking flavor. The onions and the pastrami, they're sort of the counterbalance, you know. They're a little bit more down to earth. You know, they've got those savory aspects, obviously got the saltiness from the pastrami. So, here's the one issue I have. I do like this. It's really tasty. I do kind of feel like the pickles and the mayo, was it mayo or is it fucking, no, mustard, yeah. The pickles and the mustard, maybe a bit too much tang. I just feel like they're kind of, you know, they're not completely outshining everything, but again, you want like a perfect balance between these things. And I feel like the onions, they just don't have enough oomph to really compete against everything. They're still adding something, but... And the pastrami, well, I do like it. It's definitely some tasty pastrami. It's not like, you know, super duper, you know, mega pastrami or anything like that, like some Manny's Deli or anything. But it's some nice tasting pastrami. Like, they definitely, it's not some bullshit stuff. But yeah, I just feel like it's a little unbalanced. I feel like if the pastrami had a little bit more strength of flavor, if the onions offered a little bit more, or if there was just maybe a little less of the mustard, or, you know, maybe take out the pickles, I think that this would be a little bit more balanced. But it is still a really nice sub. Like, I do enjoy it. For me personally, I wish I got to enjoy the pastrami a little bit more. But, two questions have to be asked. Would I get it again? Would I recommend it? Yes, caveat, yes. So here's the thing. I like Jersey Mike's. In terms of chain locations, at least that are near me, I would say that they are definitely the best at doing what they do. You know, making sub sandwiches, obviously. And there's no denying, like, the ones that are on their normal menu, they have down packed. You know, those are pretty much perfectly represented, perfectly executed. I found when they put out new ones, it can be a little bit hit or miss. And it's never a full miss. And that's kind of what I have with this, because I do like it. I love a pastrami sandwich. I think it's really nice. And again, you know, because it is Jersey Mike's, it tastes like quality. It's got really good flavors going on. But the balance isn't there, you know? And so for me, if I was going to get this one again, either I would ask for very limited mustard, maybe take the mustard off, or maybe just get rid of the pickles. Like, I would need to go over there and find something to kind of let that pastrami really shine through. Because at the end of the day, that needs to be the hero. This, as is, I feel like the mustard is really kind of taking it and running away with it. And then the pickle is just kind of going over there and giving it that extra boost. So again, it's still really tasty. The flavors are all really good. But again, that balance just isn't quite there for me. But I do still like it. So like with a little adjustment, if I'm recommending it, yes, but again, take what I've said into account. And obviously, you know, every location is probably going to be prepared a little bit differently, you know, depending on who's making it and stuff like that. I would just say that if you're going to, you know, maybe go over there and try it, if you've seen my review, which presumably you have, because otherwise, what the fuck are you watching? I would go over there, my personal thing would be like, hey, maybe just request, hey, go a little light on the mustard, because the mustard has so much tang that it can overpower it. Or, again, you know, maybe take out the pickles, but that depends on how much you like pickles. Like, it's fundamentally a good sandwich, but you need to find the balance that works for you. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Still a good sandwich, would still recommend it, but, again, find your balance. 5 things before you get out of here. Have yourself a great rest of your day, spectacular rest of the week, monumental rest of the month, stupendous rest of your year. Folks, go over there yourselves a truly pastrami-tastic rest of your life, because pastrami is really good. It's not my favorite lunch meat, but it's up there. Final 2 things. Number 1, try to bring some positivity into the world. It's not always possible. It is, however, always appreciated. But what you do if you can't do it all the time, I know I can't do it all the time. Here's what you're going to do, folks. You're going to try not to be an asshole. Folks, not always the easiest thing in the world to not be an asshole. Trust me. I know it. I live it. I'm out there every day with you in it. Life can be stressful and frustrating and just bullshit sometimes, folks. And when we find ourselves in situations where we have to deal with said bullshit, it's important we go over there whenever possible. Take a step back. Try to mitigate the level of assholishness in our lives. Hopefully, do better for ourselves and for those around us. Very final thing, folks, do the thing. Whatever the thing is for you, that's what I want you to go out and do. Folks, what's your take on pastrami? Hell, what's your favorite lunch meat if you're, you know, into meat? To be fair, maybe you're vegetarian or vegan or what have you. That's always an option too. I think for me, I mean, roast beef is always a great go-to, man. Like, I love pastrami. You know, it's fantastic. I love some corned beef, really good too. But man, like, I just like an all-around lunch meat. Something I think you can use almost anywhere. Roast beef is just something else, man. But I don't know. I don't just, you know, give me a different day and maybe I'd say pastrami. But anyway,